Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Omar from the Bullish Bears team. It is April 30th, 2017, 11:52 a.m. in the morning. We'll make a video building my watch list for tomorrow. What is tomorrow gonna be? Tomorrow, May 1st, or tomorrow's the 31st? Oh, tomorrow's May 1st, yeah. And I haven't been making videos as often as I used to, and I'll get back to that at some point. It's just been a lot's going on. I finally met the creators of the Bullish Bears team. Like just a member from the group. And I still am. And finally got to meet for the first time. It was really cool. So I met Lucian, Dan, Tim, Angel. They're great. They're fantastic people, man. And it just validates why I'm part of the group. Everybody's just super nice in the group, and I want to continue, to support the group as best as I can, and provide content. Showing, eventually long term, I would like to start showing my trades. A lot of these trades I take are at work, and some of a lot of pressure filled situations. So unfortunately, like right now, I'm home and I'm able to do these videos, and I do them from my house, but work's a whole other dynamic. So at some point I'm gonna figure that out because I want to see you. I want you guys to see me, as I make some of these trades, when I win, when I lose, my risk level, with my thought process. I think it'll be very helpful. Um, but I do have a ton of information already on the website. So I'm on YouTube. So if you just type Bullish Bears and you go to stock market community, yes, there it is. We have about 2,400 members, which is great. On Facebook, we're at like 6,500 members. We have a website. If you go to www.bullishbears.com, and the bullishbears.com website, if you go there, you're gonna see that we have was real cool. We have an Instagram, we have Facebook, we have Twitter. If you click on courses, you can see all your courses that you can take. And this is all free, guys. It's a contribution based community, meaning these guys live on the donations that people provide. Right, this is Lucian right here, one of the founders. This is Tim, and then we have Dan. And you know what? These guys are nice, man. They're good. They're good guys. I can say that with 100%, validity and peace, and know that I'm doing the right thing by supporting these guys. These guys are just, they're trying to, start a business model that's different. Instead of saying, hey, we're gonna charge, a fee to join our community. Like for example, if you go to like you go to Warrior Trading, you know, uh, you know, you can learn, and you can go to a website like this, but when you go to like the courses, you know, um, you gotta pay. And I don't know where it is, but yeah, here it is. Here's the pay. I mean, it's a lot of money, guys. It's not cheap, and it doesn't guarantee you that you're gonna do great and you get access to a chat room. Well, guess what? Bullish Bears community, we got a chat room. It's a Skype room. It's free. There's over 200 people in there right now. It's growing. Trust me, in 6 months it's gonna be well in the thousands. All the information that I provide you guys is free, and it's all here on YouTube. So when you go through the website, let me go back. When you go to the website, you got all these courses that you would have to pay, but for free, you know. So basically, my momentum trading course. It's just these YouTube videos that I put together, and we put it in a course setting. So this one is the most important, and honestly, this course right here, the momentum strategy for beginners, this first it's a YouTube video. Basically, it links you to the YouTube video, and this is trading about. So the way I learned is I watched like a lot of other what they call gurus, like Ross from Warrior Trading and Cameron Foods and Tim Sykes and all these guys, and I took all their information and just condensed it into a video. you know, and it's good, you know, not because I put it together, but it's a good video, man. And and
Binary option is simply making a true or false prediction about the market. Like if you think gold's going to be
all right, I can skip this commercial, but you know, other people break down like you know what I look for, and these are the patterns I look for. I'm actually, I think I'm gonna start an Instagram, my own personal one. Now, Bullish Bears has one, but I'm gonna have an Instagram, and on my Instagram, I'm really gonna start breaking information down for you guys. But this is what I do. This is what I look for, you know, and you know, and if you see, from the time I created this presentation, this was like I don't know last year till now, you know, I've evolved. Like some of the things have changed. Like for example, my criteria, like the things I look for has changed, you know. So you'll see like my whole progression as you watch these videos, you know, and how I evolved as a trader. So, you know, you change and you adapt to the market, you know. So, you know, that's what I really wanted to say about that. Watch the videos, you know, and again, you know, momentum trading isn't for everybody. Not everybody likes to day trade. Some people like to options trade. Some people like to swing trade. Some people like to, you know, they like to trade in mutual funds, and you know, there's all kinds of ways to, you know, you know, trade. There's all kind of strategies, you know. But this is what I like to do. So if you like, you know, day trading, if this is your thing, then you know, this is, you know, then you know, follow me, you know, and you can learn a couple of things. All right. So with that said, I'm gonna build my watch list for tomorrow. So I'm in Thinkorswim currently. I'm gonna go to create watch list. I'm just gonna put tomorrow's date 5/1/17. Hit save, and you know, we'll go through it. So we're gonna again. So this is what my criteria. I look for stocks between 20 cents and $30 that are 500,000 shares or more. That are 5%. You hit scan. We got 48 stocks for tomorrow. All right. And you know this scan is here on the side. So I go to charts and we just look at the charts. So next first chart is NADL. This is a stock. This is a 5-day. I have the 15-minute, 5-day, 5-minute chart, and you can see that on the 25th, this was at too low, 211, hit a high 306, and it washed. You know, look at this. This is what I love. This is why I love shorting, because you see a stock have a run, and you just short into the wash. You know, beautiful, 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 beautiful short. But you know, it seems like it's kind of picking up a little bit of steam again. You know, so on Friday, this stock had was pre-market a low of 222, hit a high of 262, and it's at 252. Is it gonna be on my watch list? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if it may have another spike in it. If we look at it currently, you know, it's grinding up, and this is this is let me just share. This is the 9 EMA. Let me change the color here. Okay, so yeah, this is the 9 EMA, and you see it keeps on the daily. It keeps bouncing off the 9 EMA. So the 9 EMA. So this is what I would do. Here's a strategy for you guys. So let's say it washes at the open tomorrow, meaning it starts selling off, and you see that the 9 EMA on the yearly chart. Now this is the yearly chart, is at 229, and you see a bounce off 229. Then you can take a swing trade, a long trade, and say, hey, you know what? If it bounces off 229 tomorrow on the wash and it starts trending upward, I'll take a position and put a stop loss, maybe 10 cents under that, like 220. All right, risking 10 cents to make a quarter, 50 cents, whatever. You know, so you know that's a strategy you can take. So you're buying low and trying to sell high. You know, that's a more conservative strategy. You know, me, I like to look for momentum on the pop. Now, the stock is choppy, so I'm not going to put it on my watch list, but it's just something to think about. Next up, ADPTQ. This is a stock that was 21 cents five days ago. Now it's 64 cents. This is a dog shit company that, you know, a Q. Anytime you see a Q at the end of any stock, it means it's a bankrupt company. You know, but who cares? You just trade the momentum. Now, this stock, when it washes, meaning when it sells off, it's going to be a tremendous short. And these are the kind of stocks where, you know, short sellers make tremendous gains on. The problem is finding the shares to be able to short a stock like this. You know, not every broker is going to have it available. The stock was one time $73, and it was at 21 cents, and now it's grinding up. I mean, there's literally no resistance all the way up to $1.33. Now, do I think it's going to continue up to $1.33? Maybe, you know, but you know, it's a bankrupt company, and you know, it's probably being pumped. And you know, at some point, all those people that are in on it are gonna just sell their position. You don't want to get stuck. So you know, normally I'm not gonna put this on my watch list because I don't wanna, I don't wanna steer anybody wrong. But you know, if the opportunity presents itself, you can take a trade. Look, this thing rolled. And let me just fix this here. I just changed this off for you guys. This thing rolled. If you look at it, let's change the color. I like VWAP to be green. It rolled the 13 EMA all day. I mean, look at this on the 5-minute chart. And then, you know, sometimes, so when there's less volume, you need a longer time frame to get a clear direction. And when I talk about my bull flag strategy, this is an example. Here's the gap up, here's the pullback. So right here, you get the push. Gap up, right? Pull back, and then you get the another push. So, you know, this is that momentum where you get the two bull flags, then you get that last push, and then the reversal. It happened on a 15-minute time frame, you know, not on a 1 minute, because on a 1 minute it's just too choppy. You don't get a clear sense. So when a stock doesn't have a tremendous amount of volume and it's choppy like this, you can change the actual time frame so that you can get a better sense of your entry. So right here, look at that. So gap up, pull back, push, right? Gap up, pull back, last push. Because you get two. First, second, last push, reversal. You know, this is the stuff that I keep telling you guys. So when you watch my videos, my daily recaps, I just go over this again and again and again and again and again. All right, next up, let me put this back. IVC. Look at this stock. This thing went from $13 to $16, and then it washed. This is another play that I'm creating, like this little manual I'm going to send out to everybody. Stocks like this, when they have a big rip like this at the open, you're gonna get a wash. You know, even if you still you might get a continuation back up, but you're gonna get a wash. What I love to do is watch the stock go up like this, put a trend line, and just watch it go run up the trend. And once it breaks the trend, I put my short position, and you could short this right back down. That's my favorite thing to do. And what I notice is short sellers, like people who make a lot of money, day traders who trade stocks, do this. They just short. They don't go long as often as you think. They're mostly looking for shares to short, and the reason why they're making thousands a day is because they're taking big position sizes. That's another thing you gotta keep in mind. If you got a few $100, I mean, you're probably gonna lose all your money. You know, if you're gonna open an account and you really start trading, and you want to take it seriously, you know, you should have at a minimum $5,000. I think anything under $5,000, you shouldn't be trading. I mean, $3,000 is, I guess, the least amount I would recommend. You know, now I guess the question is this going to be my watch list? You know, it's holding its highs. I mean, it found its support here at like 1435, and it's kind of grinding up. It went above 15. It's back below VWAP, so it could continue to wash. It's overextended. If you look at the 5-day chart, this is like a new stock, I guess. I don't know. I'm not gonna put it on my watch list, but you keep an eye on it. IBBK. This is gonna, 27% it was up, so 2 million float. I'm gonna put it on my watch list. This is a stock that at the market open, here we go. We'll look at it. You see, you got that push up. So you got that you got that gap up, right? You got this. This is sort of a pullback here. So here you get your second entry. You get that second push up on the 1 minute. And then you have this big pullback. When you get this like sideways flat, this called a flat top breakout, where it kind of goes sideways, and you see how it forms this U-shaped pattern. So traders saw the U-shaped pattern, and right here, this is where they got that second push, because they saw the U-shaped pattern forming. And you see how it's right along the 9 EMA, and everybody breaks before it. That's why I got all that volume. People saw the pattern and pushed the stop and the price up. But you see how as fast as it went up, it came right back down. You got to be very, very careful when you're trading these stocks. And then you see when it came back down, it found its support right here on the 20 EMA at 625. So it kind of came back down. Then it had another push up, then it kind of came back down. And when it's choppy like this, you don't really know what your entry should be on the 1 minute, and these things move kind of fast. But you see on the 5 minute, on the 13 EMA, it just found its support here right above VWAP. So this is another thing that I'll talk about in my in that manual. Sometimes I look for trades like around 10 o'clock after a stock has had its move up and move down. When I see how it's found support, I look to see it break above VWAP in the 13 EMA. So for me, like had I been watching it consolidate like this, I would have put a little, kind of trend line here, at the low of this to kind of watch it and then say, okay, if it breaks above VWAP and the 13 EMA, I might just take a shot at it using maybe the low of the candle here as my stop. And right in here, I would have got in, which is what was this at 635. I would have just took this and just rolled this up and then said, okay, and just stood in, say, and you see how it kind of bounces, it starts going up, and you see it gets all the way up to about 656, and then it kind of comes back down. But look what happens, it bounces above off VWAP, and then it comes back up, and then then it breaks below VWAP. But you see how it touches the previous low and it goes up. That's why it's important to know what your support and resistance levels are to get a sense of what the stock is going to do. Now it was choppy, but you get a sense of the direction. Now I would have sold up past that 650 level. Had I gotten in, I would have sold, because I would have sold this double top and I would have been out, because a double top is a bearish sign, means the stock is gonna pull back or sell off. Now, I'm looking at the wrong time. I'm looking at a 1 minute instead of looking at the 5 minute. Sorry. So another thing that you can do, you see, I would have. Now, if it's too choppy on the 5 minute too, and it's getting less volume, then you can put it on a 15-minute time frame, and you see, does it give you a sense now? And you see it's just flat all day. But when you see a stock consolidate like this, a lot of times it may mean that there's gonna be another move up. So I'm gonna put it on the watch list, because you may get a spike. You may get a quick spike at the open. So I'm just I already put it there. So I'm gonna leave it there. Next up, MDXG had a nice move up. This was $11 a couple of days ago. Look how this nice move up. And on the 5 minute, you see on the 1 minute how it's choppy. You don't really get a sense of what it's doing. On the 5 minute, if I see a stock like this that has volume but it's a little choppy, I'm not looking at the 1 minute time frame anymore. I'm looking at the 5 minute time frame to get a sense of the direction. And that's when I would. And when you see here, it kind of bounces off the 13 EMA and VWAP, and you see how it starts riding above it. Right in here, these are all indecision candles, meaning the stock doesn't know what it wants to do. These are indecision dojis, that's what they're called. And you see, you start getting a little volume here. Right in here, I would have got in, risking probably the 13 EMA. So to say, hey, if it breaks below the 13 EMA, I'm out. And you could have just rolled all the way up to 1289. And so these are the different things that I look for when I make a trade. All right. Different sort of strategies that are helpful. All right. Next up, TRVG. So TRVG had nothing. This was $14 5 days ago. It's $17 now. And if you look at it on the 1 and the 5 minute time frame, this had its move here. So look, you have the gap up, you have the pullback, you have the second push up, you have the pullback, you have the last push up, and then the reversal. Just straight out of my momentum strategy. And the reason why on this you look at the 1 minute, because it happened so fast. So at 9:30, this is 9:30. It was at 15.92, and by 9:49 it was at its peak. All right, it's up $2. Now it's a little wishy-washy, but you see the gap up, you get that little pullback, you see how it hits the 9 EMA, and then you get that volume push, you get that second push up, you get that sideways consolidation, you get that last push up, and then the wash, the reversal. And it kind of reversed and found its support here at 1637, and then continued all the way back up. Now at this point it's too choppy. I'm not looking at it on a 1 minute time frame. I'm looking, see, this is a 15 minute time frame. So I'm looking either at a 15 minute or I'm looking at the 5. I start with the 5, and then if the 5 is still too choppy, then I look at a 15 minute time frame to get a sense of what the stock is doing. And it's too choppy at this point to see what it's doing, but it's kind of like holding its highs. And if we want to take a look, you see what it's done over the last year. Well, look how overextended this chart is. I mean, it's so overextended that you see, look, it formed a bull flag breakout. So, you have to grab up sideways, flat top, consolidation, and then that second push. Guess what I think this is going to do tomorrow? It's gonna be a great short, because it's so overextended. So, if you have an account, my advice is, if you can't afford, if you are into shorting and you can't afford Speed Trader or Centerpoint, open up interactive brokers. They're great too. They're fantastic, and you don't need 30 grand for interactive brokers. You need a minimum of 10. And if you're a student, I think if you're 25 or younger, all you need is like 3 grand to open an account. So So just take a look and see what the other options are. All right, moving on. MITK is very very choppy. I had some value, but it's very 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 choppy. I don't know what to do with this stock. I mean, uh, you know, am I gonna put on my watch list? I mean, it's kind of at it's tomorrow. What do I think this is gonna do? It's gonna probably pull back. Look where it's at. If it breaks 879, it can continue on to $9. But I don't know. I mean, it's very choppy. So it's not the typical momentum. It's not a good momentum stock. All right. So with that said, I'll keep moving on. NINTNGO, nope. LXU, nice move today. Friday. You know, had this nice open. See, gap up. And then you have the little pullback to the 9 EMA. You have the second push up, and you have pullback. It went below the 9 EMA, didn't hit the 20, but then you get that last push up, and then you had the wash. And then they found the support and continue upward. Sometimes it washes the rest of the day. Sometimes you get, a nice, second push. Um, so it's on its way up, and it continued on upward the rest of that morning. And look at this, it kind of pulled back, and look, it never broke below VWAP. If you notice, I like taking a lot of these midday trades. If I'm looking at a stock, sometimes it's consolidating like this, and I'm saying, hey, look, you know what? It's consolidating over here, and you put your little, you make sure you got the trend line here, and look what it did. It found its support here, and look, it touched here, and right below VWAP, and then you got that next push. So if you saw this coming and you start seeing some volume coming in, let me zoom in here. You start seeing some volume coming in. You could take a trade up if you're close to support. You want to be as close to support as possible so that you know what your risk is. Because if you take a trade here, you don't know what you're risking, right? You don't know when to get in or get out. But other than to say if it breaks below the 9 and 20, I'm out. And you see it just rides the 9 EMA on the one. And you can see here, you see how it consolidates all day. It's in this channel, and basically what happens is, and when you see a stock like this, right, because in the afternoon you're gonna get an opportunity to trade too. And if you notice, this is straight out my momentum trading for beginners strategy, that this is the higher day at this moment, and since forming in this channel. So you say once it breaks the channel, and look what happened. Why all the volume came in here? Because what happened was, at this moment, it popped up on everybody's higher day scanners, right? And they just wrote it up. That's basically what happened. And then look what happened before the market closed. It at around 325, it starts to wash. People start to take their profit, and look, it holds at $11, which is a psychological resistance barrier. So this may continue on up, even though it pulled back. And I know I'm being extra wordy, and this is extra long. I'm just trying to give you knowledge of how people find stocks and what makes stocks move up and down. So I hope you're finding this helpful. Is it going to be on my watch list? I think it's going to pull. It has to break 1177. You see what I'm doing, guys? I'm looking to see what the next support and resistance level is. So on the daily, the next resistance level is here. So it's at the top of this candle. So I'll put the price level right here. And you see, it's right here, 1171. So it does have, even though it washed, it might continue upwards. I'll be looking to see if it can get to that 1171 level before it pulls back. So we'll leave it on our watch list, and we'll continue on. Hope you're finding this all helpful, guys. Next, ZEUS. ZEUS is a stock. Wow, it was 18 and it hit a high of 23.88. It's a steel company. Yeah, these steel companies, because of Trump. You gotta hear what Trump is saying. And look what happened. I mean, Trump must have said something and drove this up. And look at it, it's at $23. Now, is this going to be on the watch list? Yes. Now, I know it's a more pricey stock, but I expect it to pull back. It may continue up, but because it's so overextended, you got to expect a wash. Now, the problem is that it's not very liquid. So, if let's say I took a short position on this, I'm not going to, obviously for financial reasons, it's $22, so you can only take for so much, but I wouldn't take more than 1,000 shares shorting this, and I bet you I'll probably get I'd probably make $2,000 shorting this, because this is probably gonna pull back about $2. My guess. I don't, I could be wrong, but that's my guess. All right, moving on. APPS, nope. CDXC, very choppy. It's kind of moving up. I think this is that company that some billionaire invested in from China. I think, I'm not sure. I don't know if this is it. Um, and this may be the company. That's why it's moving. It's, it looks a little it looks a little um yeah, but this I think this stock. I'm not sure, but I think a billionaire invested in this, like the richest guy in China or something like that. I'm not sure. Um, so it's kind of trending upward. It's not a good momentum play. It's too choppy, but you may want to swing it. I'm gonna keep looking. I'm not gonna do that. Next up, eHealth. Yeah, eHealth has been moving. Was at $10 5 days ago. It's at $14. I'm gonna put on the watch list. This doesn't really have a tremendous amount of volume, but you may, if you get an opportunity, because it's so overextended. And I've seen this before where if I'm not mistaken, this is a stock that when it gaps up, and when it pulls back, it pulls back. So this stock went from $7 all the way to about 12, and then it came all the way back down to like 10. So, it's been in this range, where it broke 12. It's at $14. It's trying to get to that, and it broke above this 14.30 resistance level. So it's almost at its yearly high. So I expect a pullback. So but it may continue up. Who knows? CDC. Let me get back 1 day, 2 day, 1 minute. Yeah, look at this move. Wow, this was a move. Went from 19 to $22. It's very overextended. So it's gonna be on my watch list. So let's keep moving. WPRT. This is a 111 5 days, 142. It's choppy. So if let's say I'm looking at stock again because of the choppiness and not a tremendous amount of volume, I would look at the 5 minute. The 5 minute didn't look clean. Then I would look at the 15 minute. So that way you get a better sense. And you see, look at this. It just consolidated on the 15 minute, and then you got the little push up. So right here, people saw that consolidation. It's riding along VWAP, and they just took this up, and then it came back down. Am I going to be on my watch list? Nah. CSTM? Nope. AEZS? Nope. SMX? Nope. CYX? Nope. COWM? Yeah, this thing went up crazy from 14 to $16, up 17%. It's consolidating. I don't know where it's been over the last year. Yeah, it's almost at its yearly high. I'm gonna put it on the watch list. It may be a good short opportunity. We'll see what happens tomorrow. CEMP. Let's do. Nah, too choppy. ADVM. Nope. GENE. Nope. EGO. EGO. The gold company. Yeah, look at this. Nice move. All day. I mean, it's choppy on the one. To get a better entry. So I'd probably be looking at the 5. If you look at the 5, gap up, pull back, gap up, pull back, last push, wash. See? On the 5 minute, it's much clearer, but it found its support here and it continued up the rest of the day. And it just continued moving up the rest of the day. So if I'm taking, it's hard to get a sense of when to get in the trade once like this because you're not sure what it's going to do. But it's up a lot. So, it may pull back tomorrow. We'll see where gold is. So if it pulls back, too much, then you can short it. NTRP, yeah, it had a nice move up. We'll put that in on our watch list. PTIE, nope. CPN. Yeah, this thing had a nice move, 930 all the way up to 1020. It's holding its highs. Goes on the watch list. GPL, nope. CBIO. CBIO moves when it has news. Where am I? SCNR. Wow, nice move up. Look at this. Nice. And look at this. Nice big move up. And this is we like these kind of momentum plays. It's a little choppy here on the one, but man, look at that. Nice push. So we're gonna put that on the watch list. Definitely volatile. SNCR. And let's keep going on. So I'm at SNCR. Lost my place. UXLV. Wow, look at this thing. It's a dog shit company, but it ripped and then it kind of collapsed. Look at that. Big push up and big collapse. Is it gonna be on the watch list? Nah. AGRX. Nah. BKIT. Nope. CCCR. Nope. CFBI. Nope. Oh yeah, no, wait a minute, sorry. Let me see. 1.9 million shares. I mean, it did move. I mean, it's really up there. I don't know, maybe, I don't like it. CYGR, nope. FNCX, nope. FZ, nope. GMBC, nope, nope. Look at these stocks. I mean, they're so choppy. There's no volume. It's not even worth looking at. IFON. IFON, yeah, had that big move all the way up to $1, came back down. And now it's found its new support. It's choppy. You know, it's too choppy to kind of get a sense of it. And then MSDI, which has been the big mover. You know, I think it has one more day in it, so I'm gonna put on the watch list just because I think it may have one more move before it completely collapses. NCFM and OWCP, which is you know, pump. You know, they look like the pump is back. It's too choppy though. All right, so these are the stocks that I've got on my watch list. You know, my computer is freezing. Yeah, so sorry guys, my computer's freezing. So I'm just gonna stop this at this point and go enjoy my Sunday. But hope you found this helpful. I don't know what the hell happened here. All right, guys. Well, anyway, hope you. I don't know what happened here. My computer just went absolutely nuts. All right. Anyway, enjoy your Sunday, guys. I'll be